What's up YouTube, Lightning2288 here with another comic book haul video. I just want to start off by thanking everybody that entered or made a contest entry video for my contest. I never would have thought, within a week I already got 20 entries, so really appreciate it. I want to thank everybody in the community that participated. It really means a lot, and I really get a kick out all your guys' videos. So let's get on with my haul. Let me think here. Most of this, of course, is from Frank & Sons, and I think I actually got 3 purchases this time from eBay. So I think this was from about 2 weeks back at Frank & Sons on a Saturday. So the first book here, as you can see, is X-Men Annual 14, and a lot of people consider this, I guess, the true first appearance of Gambit. Whatever, you know. I still think 266 is his first appearance, but you know, a lot of people are going for this book, and I know this book is starting to slowly rise in value, and I found it actually in the dollar box, so you know, I'm definitely not going to pass up on something like this. And this is a book that, it costs $1, and you can see it's in pretty decent shape, you know, VF plus probably, but still, you know, not that big a deal. But like I said, a lot of shops, especially local shops around my neighborhood, they're selling this book as a wall book for about $15 and $20. And I think the next 3 or 4 books are dollar books, actually. The next one I picked up was Black Lightning #1. And like I said, I don't know much about this character, but you know, anything from the Bronze Age and #1, I'm jumping all over, especially at a cheap price. And that's all I can really say about this book. Not even for sure how much this book's actually going for, but still, you know, for $1, definitely, you know, pass up on this one. This is more like probably on the fine plus, the very fine minus range, but still a cool book to have. And one that I guess I jumped on the bandwagon late, because I know this book has really died down a lot, and this is Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 19, and this is first Alistair Smythe. And I know when everybody was jumping on this book, I was actually trying to get it, but every vendor at Frank & Sons, or a couple of vendors at Frank & Sons, actually had this on the wall, and it was like a $20, $25 book. So I know it's calmed down a lot, because the last weekend I was there, I actually found this in the dollar box. And it's probably, it's not as wide as it should be. The corners are sharp. There's no ticks. There's just there's like a little crease right there, if you can see that. But other than that, it was only $1, so definitely not going to pass up on that. And this next one that I found for $1, really happy to find. I was really surprised, actually. I think I've seen in a few people's videos where they found it really cheap. But this is a DC Comics Presents number 27. This is the first appearance of Mongol. And it's weird because if anybody's familiar with Frank & Sons, I'm trying to explain the vendor that I usually buy from. He's kind of an overweight guy, just sits down, doesn't move or nothing. I'm pretty sure if you go into Frank's, you know who I'm talking about. I got it from him in his, through his dollar boxes, and it's weird because his buddy that has a booth directly across from him, the guy that smells like an ashtray. He smokes like a train. He smells like cigarettes, basically. If you go to Frank's, you know who I'm talking about. He had this on the wall for $25, and I went across to the the overweight guy, or I forgot his name, but he had it in his dollar box, so super happy to have it. So it's just weird to me that I actually, directly across from the guy selling it for 25 bucks, I found it for $1, and it's a really high grade copy. So yeah. And that's what I suggest everybody to do, especially if you go to a place like Frank & Sons where you have multiple vendors, multiple areas to buy comics. Always hunt. Don't buy the first thing you see, take notes, go around, make sure, you see everybody's booth, because there's a good chance that someone might be selling a book for 10 bucks, another guy might be selling a book for $2. So, it takes a lot of time and effort, but, just go, I'd rather take the time and effort and save money and use that towards more books. That's how I look at it. And I think that was it for the dollar books, guys. None of these books really are that expensive that I'm about to show, but I got a couple of books at the end of this video that I'm just super stoked, super happy to have. But this next one coming up is a Fantastic Four number 66. And I actually picked this one up. I think this, you could see, there's some creasing, some chipping. But I would still give it like maybe a, like a 4 or 5 really, maybe, I mean, it's at least a 4.0, but this was only like $3. I found it for $3. And this is I get confused with the Adam Warlock crap, but I think it's more like a part 1 of his origin as well, it's the origin of Adam Warlock when he was just known as him. So Fantastic Four 66. I mean, it's a beautiful cover too. But I mean, overall, for $3, I believe, I mean, hell, definitely not gonna pass up on that. And this next one, it's just nothing I don't think special about it. But this was actually a couple of dollars, and I do love the Tales of Suspense stuff, and I do, like I said, I think I got a run of everything going on. I mean, I work on everything, so just something to fill in a gap. But this is another book. I think it was, shit, I don't know if I even said it, but I think it was a couple bucks, $2-3 or something. But it's another probably like V. You can see the chipping up here. But like I said, man, when it comes to old books and if they're cheap, and I mean they present pretty well, I'm definitely not leaving them behind. And let me get these books out of the way. And like I said before, my theory when I did the Aquaman, I've been doing the same thing with my Justice League books, seeing whatever older Justice League book I pick up and see what kind of a first appearance it has in it. And this was $2, and this is Justice League number 96, and this is the first appearance of Starbreaker. Basically, he was a excuse me, he was an energy vampire that I guess he comes to planets to consume it so he can sustain his own life, kind of like a Galactus type villain, but still, I mean, I thought it was a pretty good thought. I need to actually start reading some of these books, but I mean, still, like I said though, random book I picked up, and it still happens to have a first appearance in it, a couple bucks, pretty decent shape. So that's Justice League number 96, first appearance of Starbreaker. And this is another Justice League book that was, I believe, $2. This is Justice League number 80. And this is the first appearance of Norch Lore. I guess he was like a prophet that collected souls. And that's basically all I could get off of that, off of Wikipedia, or when I do research to find out what kind of first appearances are in these books. But like I said, it's just something cool to me, because the reason I'm doing it, is because I want to collect runs. And the way the Marvel and then the DC universe has been mapped out now, it's on the website that the DC movie universe has been mapped out. You never know when these type of characters will be used, and then all of a sudden these books skyrocket. So if I could get everything cheap, and that's what I've been doing, I'm just gonna pick up everything I can, because I do collect runs, and I do got a good Justice League run going right now. And one I was really happy to find, and I actually found it for, I believe it was $3 or $3.50. At the most $4, I know that. And this is a Justice League number 43, and this is the first appearance of the Royal Flush Gang, who did make an appearance in the Arrow show. Show that's extremely hot. I finished season 1. I've been watching on Netflix, but I can't watch season 2 yet because it hasn't been released on Netflix, and someone told me it won't be released on there till season 3 is out this fall, so I don't know if I could wait that long. So as soon as season 2 is released on DVD, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it so I can watch season 2 so I can finally be caught up when the new season comes out. But this is Justice League 43, first appearance of Royal Flush Gang, and it cost me $3 to $4. And as you can see, I mean, there's some chipping. I mean, a little bit, but for the price, I mean, the cover's still pretty bright and vibrant. I mean, it's still glossy. It's pretty nice actually. I mean, just a few little, I'd still give it like a VG plus. Maybe a fine minus. But like I said, this book is actually starting to get hot. I mean, when I first started looking up this book, this was before they even appeared on the Flash show. I don't know why I didn't buy it then. I mean, it was like on eBay, maybe like a $5 to $10 book, but I've seen a few auctions go, I mean, for a grade of maybe a VF minus, maybe a fine plus, I mean, they're going between $20, $25. So if you see this in a wild cheap, definitely pick it up. It's worth the pickup. And the next one is Justice League number 42, if I can see that. This is the first appearance of the Unimaginable. Basically a being that he collected alien species for trophies. I don't know, kind of like I guess a collector type character, but I thought it was pretty cool. But just like I said, randomly just was picking up, old Justice League books, and each one so far has had a first appearance in it. And as you can see, this is not in the best shape. This one's more like a 3.5, 3.0, but $2, so definitely not gonna pass up on this. And Justice League number 40. And I just love these Justice League covers. They're freaking awesome. And just the way the colors are and stuff. I know. I was such a big Marvel fan, most of my life. And like I said, the last 6 months I've been heavy on DC. And I just underestimate. I mean, DC has some amazing Silver Age covers. I mean, the art on some of these DC books are freaking fabulous. But anyways, this is a Justice League 40, and this is basically the only Justice League book I didn't find that had any significance in the issue. No first appearance, no award, nothing. So, out of the 5, only 1 didn't. So hell, I can't complain about that. And the last Justice League book is number 22, and it's probably a VG mine. I mean, you can see there's a major problem right there with the staple, and there's some ticks right here. I mean, nah, I probably even then I'd probably give it a 3.5. But I mean, this is actually a pretty significant key. This is it's the second part. I do need Justice League 21, but it's the second part to the story that explains Earth 1 and Earth 2. And I'm really confused on that, since I'm new to DC, and I definitely want to get the first one. Once I get the part 1 to this, or Justice League 21, I'm going to read both of these. But this is the second part of the explanation of Earth 1 and Earth 2. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. And this book cost me only a few dollars as well. And that'll do it for my Justice League books. Let me get these out of the way. Sorry guys, I'm trying to run through this video a little bit faster. I know my videos tend to run long, and I'm trying to cut that down, because I think the last 2 or 3 of my videos, they were like 25-30 minutes, so I apologize for that. And I know with the Doctor Strange movie coming out, I guess I even started I started jumping on the Doctor Strange bandwagon, and I just picked up these little minor keys, nothing like too big, but this is a Strange Tales number 148. And this is the origin. It's like it's a 2-for-1 in here. It's the origin of the Ancient One and the first appearance of Kalu. And basically he was like an apprentice to the Ancient One, eventually turned on him, and then became a Doctor Strange enemy. So if you didn't know, Strange Tales 148, first appearance of Kalu and the origin of the Ancient One. And right now, guys, I'm going to be quite honest, the Strange Tales stuff is pretty cheap right now. The Book of Vishanti, the Eye of Agamotto, or whatever, if I said that right, they're all relatively cheap. Look them up on eBay. If you have a chance to get them, pick them up. I mean, they're cheap, especially, beat the craze before the Doctor Strange movies, I guess, comes out, or they have a trailer for it or whatever. So, just a heads up, start picking up these Strange Tales, because they're relatively cheap. And I actually picked this one. This one was $4. I mean, it's probably like I would give it, there's a real rounding of that corner, but still overall it's in pretty good shape, and I didn't really pay that much for it, but still happy with it. Like I said, for my collection, I've had people talk shit to me, like it's about investments and all that. That's not why I collect comic books. I collect it because I love the covers. I love the historical significance of the book. Yeah, it's pop culture history, but to me it's still the way I look at it, it's historical. That's why I collect it, because I'm never selling the shit anyways. So, I got plenty of other stuff that I invest in. So these comics are just for my pleasure. It's my hobby. So, by the way, sorry about the rant, guys. This is Strange Tales 148, first appearance of Kalu. And Strange Tales 150. And this is the first appearance of Umar. And this is actually the sister of, I don't know if I've ever said the guy's name right. This is the first appearance of Umar, the sister of Dormammu. So if you didn't know, pretty significant. She's been a relatively, significant villain to Doctor Strange, since the Silver Age. So if you didn't know that, and if they do a Doctor Strange movie and it's successful, if she's not in the first one, she's definitely probably going to be in the second one, or eventually make an appearance somewhere through the Marvel universe, the movie universe. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. This is Strange Tales 150, first appearance of Umar, Dormammu's sister. And I paid, I think it was like $4 for this one as well. It wasn't that expensive. And this is probably like this is more on the lines of like a fine copy, maybe a fine plus. Real happy to find it. I was real excited when I found this one. And I believe I seen this in a Jimmy C's video. And I know he just recently picked one up. So this is a Strange Tales 157. And this is the first appearance of the Living Tribunal. You know, one of those cosmic beings. But you never know. The cosmic beings might make an appearance in one of these movies. So just be on the lookout for this book as well. And this is, like I said, guys, the Strange Tales stuff. Besides, you know, the obvious Strange Tales. You know, the first appearance of Doctor Strange's second appearance. Stuff like that. They're extremely expensive. They're out of the range for most of us. But after those 2 to 3 main issues, a lot of his keys are relatively cheap. So just be on the lookout for the Strange Tales or Doctor Strange related keys. And like I said, Strange Tales 157, first appearance of Living Tribunal, another book that cost me, I believe it was $3. And I mean, you can see a little wear right here. I mean, it's a black cover right here, but other than that, I mean, it's a pretty good looking book. So I'm real happy to have it. And Strange Tales 168. I mean, nothing really significant about this book. I actually do like the cover, but the reason I got it because it was actually the last issue of Strange Tales before it went to Doctor Strange, and I'm a big sucker for getting the last issue of a comic. So, but like I said, I mean, be on the lookout as well because people do collect the last. Like I said, last issue of Strange Tales is still still kind of historic in the comic books. So. Strange Tales 168, the last Strange Tales in the run. So, and this book cost me, I think it was like $3 as well. And it was probably like it's probably like a VG plus. And like I said though, to get all these books cheap, man. And like I said, the last couple of books at the end, that's why I got a lot of these books cheap. And I kind of sacrificed certain grades on certain of them to get the higher grades of the last couple of books I'm about to show you guys. Oh, and the next one, and I've actually had this for a while, and I think I made a mistake when I started making videos. My first video was basically like my own collection, and then after that I've been straight to hauls, like just buying books and just showing hauls, and I really, from my first video, I didn't really, everything since my first video is stuff I've been bought since, I've been buying along the way. And I have just a buttload of books I've never shown. From my first video, I've only shown maybe 20% of what I have. And I think from now on, within my haul videos, I'm going to show books I already owned. And just, of course, I'll mention it. And the next one is, and I know this book's super hot right now. Everybody's been showing it. Doctor Strange 169. Yeah, it's probably like a VG plus maybe. There's a little wear up here. But like I said, I've had this book way before all the hype, and I probably have had this book for like 3 years, and honestly, guys, I paid $10 for it. I mean, like I said, it's a little chipping up here, and I think I would like to eventually upgrade, but right now I'm happy to have it, and I don't feel like going out and buying one for $60 to $100. So as long as I have it and it presents pretty decent, I'm happy with it. But another hot book right now, it's slowly rising in value, especially, with all the Doctor Strange talk going on. But definitely be on the lookout for that. If you see it cheap, definitely pick it up. And another book that I've had for at least 3 to 4 years that I've never showed, and I had a buddy that was telling me that there's a major rumor, or I guess it might, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but they want to release it by 2018. And I guess Lionsgate Studio is trying to get the script for it. So this is Submariner #1. And this is a John Buscema cover. Awesome. To me, one of the most iconic covers. This is one of my favorite covers of all time. And what I'm saying is, with the movie, supposedly, there's more than likely he's going to get a movie. And I know Submariner don't get enough play, and I don't see too many of his books being shown. And like I said, I've had this for 3 years. To be quite honest, guys, I bought this, and it's weird too because I can't remember a lot of things. But when it comes to me in comics, and what I paid for them. It's like I remember everything. I remember where I was when I bought them, you know, who I met, you know, what I've been through. I remember everything. I remember the price, everything. This book actually only cost me 20 bucks, and it's actually a decent grade. It has a date stamp, but other than that, I mean, there's a few little, like a couple of nicks, but other than that, I would still give it like a fine, you know, like a 5.0, maybe a 5.5. It's still a pretty nice copy, and like I said, for 20 bucks, I definitely wasn't pass up on that. But like I said, my buddy was telling me that they're trying to get this movie in the works right now. They want a release date by 2018. And I'm not a big movie guy. I don't chase the movie thing. I already had it. I'm just trying to give a heads up to anybody. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys know there's been a lot of talk about this, but you know, this is going to be the next. We're never on that. Well, most of us will never have his first appearance, Golden Age. And, you know, hell, I don't even think I can even get his first Silver Age appearance. I believe that's Fantastic Four number 4 or something like that. I'm not for sure the number. I know it's expensive as hell. This is going to be the next best thing. So if you do see this, and I think they're still relatively cheap. I mean, they're not cheap, but they're not super outrageous expensive right now. So, I mean, I just looked. There's one in auction right now. I think it was a Fine Plus, and it's at like 25 bucks with like less than a day left. So that's pretty good, and to me, I think this book is due for a push because I think it's been undervalued for a long time. So if you see this book, definitely pick it up, especially if it's at a decent price. Now, my next 3 books, they're all eBay purchases, and this first one, I actually didn't mean to win it. I just kind of threw a bid out there. I wanted it for a while, but I kind of lost interest in it, and then I seen it again at a decent price, threw a random bid out there, and it happened to win. And this is a Marvel Spotlight number 2, first Werewolf by Night. Pretty decent copy, probably like a Fine Plus, you know, VF minus. I mean, I'm real happy with it. I got it for, I believe it was $20. So, you know, really can't complain about that. But I knew when I wanted it about a year ago, and like I said, guys, there's times it takes me years to get books. I put budgets on every book I go for. And if it goes over what I set, I don't get it. That's how I get my books. You know, if I don't want to overspend, or in my mind, I set a ceiling of what not to go over, and that's if I don't win it, oh well. But I know, like, shit, man, like a year ago, this book was going around 50 bucks in this grade. So to win it at 20, and I wasn't going to spend $50 on this book. So to win it at 20, I was super happy. But like I said, Marvel Spotlight 2, first Werewolf by Night, super happy to have it. And the next book I won on eBay, super happy. Not excited as the last book I'm going to show you, but this is X-Men number 12. And this is the seller was pretty accurate. I mean, he graded it as a 6.5. I would probably give it more like a 6.0. But like I said, you know, everybody has an opinion on grading. And as long as I'm happy, I'm real happy with it. I mean, the cover's glossy, you know, the color's good. I mean, there's only like a few spine ticks, and that's it. I mean, there's a little rounding. I give it that. It's old Silver Age, or, you know, it's an early X-Men book. But for the price I paid, I believe it was $65. So I don't know how sometimes I win these books. I've seen VG copies of this book go for $150. So to win this grade at this price, I'm super happy to have it. And you could see it's pretty, like I said, it presents well, and that's all I'm happy with. And let me get these books out the way now. And the last book, and like I said, everybody knows that I'm buddied with Omega Shin Ryukin, or James. Let's just call him James. His name's too damn long anyways. He knows I've been talking about this book for 4 years. And it's taken me 4 years to get it. Let me get it out here. And let's have a moment of silence. I'm so stoked to have this book, and it's oh man, it's one of those books that, I don't know if you watch Hero Hunter's contest entry video where he was talking about, or when he first got his Hulk 181, how he said he didn't feel like his collection was complete until he had that. I felt the same way with this book. It's been bugging me for years. You know what bugs me even more was the fact that James or Omega had it, And every time we get in an argument about our collections, he kept throwing this damn book in my face. And now that I have it, he can't talk shit no more. So eat it, James. Just kidding, brother. But like I said, as you can see, it's a there's no real spine ticks on it. I got an actual high grade one. And how I got it was y'all know the Craigslist video. What the money you've seen what James used his money for. This is what I use my money for. And basically, like I said, the money we made off our Craigslist haul paid for this, so I didn't have to come out of pocket for none of it. So super stoked to have it. I mean, God, I could probably talk about. And another thing, it's like I think people underestimate this, and I know everybody has an opinion, but this is, you have to consider this is one of the books. I know everybody has an opinion on it. One of the books that ushered in the Bronze Age. And I've heard people say Hulk 181 because Wolverine, which I disagree, because if you're going to look at as how we look at Wolverine today, and my buddy said it, you know, correctly, it's like Wolverine 181, yeah, it's his first appearance, but he wasn't significant until Giant Size X-Men #1, and that's the Wolverine we know today. To me, the Bronze Age is a way of storytelling. You know, to me, this book and Amazing Spider-Man 121, which is on my is on my hit list. Those are the two books that ushered. This is what brought the darker type of story into comics. Prior to this is kind of like Adam West type crap, you know, the Batman stuff. But like I said, I don't want to go on forever. Got a real good price. The seller said it was like an 8.5. I give it more like an 8.0, maybe 7.5 at the least. But like I said, for the price I paid for it, VG copies go for $300 to $400, give or take. And I got it way less than that. So super happy to have it. James can't throw it in my face. And like I said, and you can't throw this one in my face either, because I picked my own copy up, James. So like I said, guys, thanks for watching my video. And a reminder, like I said, my sub contest ends, you know, June 25th or 26th. So try to get your videos in before that. You know, the last day will probably be like the 24th. I'll be on vacation. I'll be able to catch anybody's videos. But like I said, thanks again, guys, and that'll do it for my video. Thanks for watching. Lightning out.